farmers, and welcome back to American Falls. Almost finished with the wheat harvest. Just bought a trailer of wheat down to the grain mill. We are now processing wheat flour along with our oat flour, so that's going rather well. Just finished also a contract in fertilizing field number 42. Got our money up to $140,000, so that is looking rather well. But our jobs today, one, of course, finish the harvest up on the wheat field, which I should be able to do it with this pass and one more. Then we need to mow the grass field, just so that, I don't actually have to pick up the grass today, but I probably will. But I want to get it mowed definitely today, so that way the grass will be ready again in October. And then I think we're going to lease a baler and get the straw baled off the wheat and oat fields that we harvested in this in-game month. Probably won't sell the bales right away. Straw prices at its lowest, and I don't really need to get the bales off the field today because I won't be replanting in these fields at least until fall time, so I might as well wait just a little bit longer and just get a little bit better price on the straw if I can. I don't think I'll be keeping any straw. I don't think we'll be getting into the pig. I think the pigs won't be along maybe until like possibly year 4. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking year 4. We're in year 4. Year 6, I'm sorry. So a couple more years. Maybe not next year either. All depends. I mean, it could be next year, but I think I'm setting it to be in year number 6 before we get that far. We're just not quite ready to be doing all that kind of harvesting. I need to harvest and sell all this material to bring money in to get more fields. And speaking of more fields, $170,000 is what I'm trying to reach to be able to buy the flax field. So we're getting awfully close. The flax will be ready for harvest in September, but I want to be able to at least buy the field next month. So that way I can get in there and do soil sampling. We can put the lime down and we can fertilize it. That way we can get the most for our money off of that field the first year that we harvest it. I should be able to make it to the end. Yeah, we should be able to make it to the end of the row before filling up the combine. So I was just checking on the birds, the chickens, and the ducks. They need about 6,000 liters of food per season. Currently, I have about 4,500 liters of sorghum left in the silo. So I need to keep about a few thousand liters of wheat. So when I go drop this off at the grain mill, I got to keep myself a couple thousand liters. We'll put that into the silo, and that way our birds should be fine for another season. The wheat harvest is now completed. A little bit too close. You want to empty into that? Why are we emptying into the trailer? There we go. So while that's emptying, let's go in and we need to lease a few items today. Step 1 are the mowers, and we're going to stick with what's working. So lease that. And then come over and lease this item right here, the front mower. And also, let's go ahead while we're in here. Let's look at the balers. And I'm going to be getting myself a square baler. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I get. 164. I'm not buying one. I'm just trying to see what would be the best option for us. You know what? We got a Fendt tractor. Let's go ahead and lease a Fendt baler. Wide tires, license plate none, that's fine. Lease, how much is the lease? Wow, okay, so these are, yeah, more, I thought it was going to be like $4,000 to lease this at $8,400. I mean, I got it, that's fine, we'll lease it. We are good to go. Oh, I got the whole combine into the trailer, so that's pretty cool. Don't have to make a special trip back for just a few thousand liters. Well, let me go ahead and we're going to unfold the header here. So right now, currently, we are not doing any contracts. There are some contracts up. As for harvesting contracts, I have not found one yet going to the grain mill. And I'm kind of curious if I will get one going to the grain mill. Maybe because I bought it, the contracts won't go there anymore. Have no idea. But currently there's like 6 contracts, harvesting contracts, none going to the grain mill. I am eyeing up maybe doing some cultivating contracts. There's like 4 of them up currently. Of course, I would have to borrow the items on one of them and then just do the rest with the borrowed items. But, you know, I'm only going to get paid maybe a total just shy of 20 grand for doing 4 contracts. So, a lot of work just to get 20 grand. I say a lot of work. Frank and company will be doing the contracts. Oh, you're turning up that way? All right, let's shoot across here. So I do got to keep a couple thousand liters for the birds. I'll probably keep 5,000 liters just to be sure. But we'll make some good flour, and we'll be selling that, of course, in the fall months. And that's good. You know what? No, I said 5,000. Darn it, I was trying to get exactly 5,000. We knew that wasn't going to happen, but, you know, doesn't hurt to try. Hey, we already got 2 pallets of flour out here. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back to the farm. The trailer, I got it leased for the day. I will unhook it from the fence, though, because I don't know how leasing hours are used on a trailer. Is it when if they're attached to a tractor, if it's when it's running? Have no idea, so we're just going to attach it just to be sure. I just want to keep the trailer just in case a harvesting contract comes up that I want to do. Of course, I'll be using my combine and header. I just need a trailer to transport the grain around, and this will do just fine for that job. Yeah, this Fendt is working out rather nicely. Good top speed of 39 miles an hour. And of course, we do know it's got the horsepower and everything to do everything that we needed to do around the farm. Especially when it comes to drilling. That was the big thing. The Landini got the job done the first couple of seasons. But it was a little bit of a struggle with it. Yeah, I'm waiting for more plowing contracts to come up to get the Landini up working. That field could use a plow. Just gotta wait for some contracts to cycle through, I think. The Landini is already down at the shop, so we're going to be mowing with the Landini, but as for baling, we're going to be using the Fendt itself. So I'm going to leave the trailer right here. Just got to remember that I have it. So when the end of the month comes, I got to make sure I return it. That way I won't pay any overnight fees. So I'm going to bring this down to the store and hook up to the baler, but we're going to mow the grass next. Every time I ride in cab, I'm always a little bit amazed how much quieter it is inside of the cab of a tractor than when we're outside of the tractor. All right, we shall be back for you, Fendt and Fendt. Looks like a good setup here. We know this setup works rather well. Let's go ahead and attach the mowers. And as we know, it doesn't take too long to mow that grass, but that grass is very important to us. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to make some hay the next time we cut the grass field in October. I think I'll see how the fermenting silo is getting along in fermenting the grass that we have put into it for the year. I think that that car is in a little bit of trouble there with the train. So is that train... Maybe we can't collide with that train. because that train went right through the AI traffic. So, I mean, I can't go through the AI traffic. So it must be the train is non-collidable. Have no idea. As I said, one day I'll find out, because that train actually does go through that crossing before the barriers come down. So one day I'll probably find out. Yeah, so getting back to the hay situation, because we may have cows or sheep sometime soon. When I mean sometime soon, maybe by the beginning of next season, we'll have to wait and see. We don't need to save money anymore for tractors. We are fine tractor-wise on the farm. I definitely want to expand land-wise, though, on the farm. Let's make sure we're on wide spreading on the rear mowers. Or, sorry, swath dropping, not wide spreading. And we should be getting roughly about 250,000 liters of grass off this field. So what did that leasing all that equipment drop us down to? 130,000. Okay. So yeah, the field right next to us, right there, that's the flax field that we want to purchase for $170,000. And who knows, it might be even by the end of this month, which is be more convenient, because that crop isn't that tall. I will have to go in there with narrow tires on, row crop tires. I do believe that crop is tall enough to have crop damage. And also with flax, I can do straw, but after seeing it's like $8 grand to lease a baler, I'm just trying to think if it'd be worth it. Because would I get $8,000 worth of straw off that field? I'm not too sure if I would. Then of course I would have to lease a baling trailer to get the bales sold as well. But if I don't pick up the hay bales, or sorry, straw bales in my other fields, maybe I won't get the trailer till then. So that's a possibility. I gotta double check to see how much the flax straw goes for. Is it worth more than regular straw? I am kind of curious now. I think I probably looked it up last episode, but I don't remember what it was. Where is that? So flax straw, best price is $39. So that sounds, I think, a little bit less than regular straw, right? Yeah, so regular straw is worth a lot more. So do we get a lot of straw from flax? Maybe that's why it's not as of a good of a price. Well, we'll see what happens when it comes time to harvest that field in September. I will put it into straw swath when we harvest, and we'll see how big the swaths are when we're harvesting the crop. If it looks like it's pretty big, maybe I will bale it on up and we'll sell it. But I mean, I'm going to have to sell a lot of straw off that field to recover for the leasing fee of a baler. But after I buy the flax field, the next couple of fields that we'll be buying are going to be rather expensive. When I mean expensive, they're going to be upwards towards $300,000 for the fields. There are other fields around here that are, under $200,000 that I can buy, but the expected yield off those fields are not that great. So probably be best is to save up and buy a bigger field. Of course, I am excluding the farmyards themselves. I think the sheep farm is like 160,000. Same thing with like the cow farm right here. I would just rather go with the sheep first, just because they're easier to take care of, and I think I'll profit more off the sheep than I would the cows. Because with the wool, and of course as we saw in Goldcrest Valley, once the pen gets full and the sheep get up to be mature enough, we can sell them for $1,000 a pop. And I think the sheep mature a lot faster than the cows do. I just got to get on my test map to see, do the sheep require just hay or is it grass on that sheep pen? I don't know. Haven't checked that out yet. As for the flax field, we'll probably just go ahead and sell the flax straight up. I don't know the best time to sell the flax. But we do have a silo that we can just store it into if the price is not that good. I don't think there's anything else I can do with the flax currently for us. I don't know if there's a production building on here that requires flax. The grain mill does not take flax. For some reason, I think I don't know. I should know what flax is used for, but I'm drawing a blank right now like I do on most things. But things are starting to feel pretty good here on the farm. That was a big bump. Tractor-wise. Getting that Fendt 1000 Vario, that's definitely going to help us around the farm greatly. Just by having a third tractor, though, sometimes I could have used a third tractor. And now, you know, like when I'm doing the harvesting contract, I could have sent the Landine on a plowing contract. The Voltra, of course, is just going to be doing fertilizing contracts and helping out around the farm itself. We can get a lot more work done all at once. I am hoping for some good things throughout the winter. Of course, we're going to be selling our silage. We should have a really good amount of flour this year. I mean, we had a good amount of flour last year, but now we have a second field. The one thing I am kind of curious on, all right, since I'm actually in the sale page again, flax. When does flax sell good? December. Oh yeah, and it sells for like 1,000. We're going to be harvesting in September. That's going to be like about 800. So probably best to keep the flax and then sell it in the winter time. But the one thing I was trying to see field-wise, that's 2 hectares. Yeah, so the whole field is almost like double the size of the wheat field. I thought they were going to be closer to that in size, but apparently not. I was just trying to guesstimate roughly, you know, how much flour we're going to get, because I can go by what we got last year off the, well, last year was a sorghum field, but now it was an oat field this year. I think we sold roughly like about $60,000 worth of flour last year, so maybe this year would be close to like 90, maybe $100,000 worth of flour. Let me go ahead and finish up this grass field here. We get it all mowed. Like I said, I want to pick it up today, but at least by cutting it today, and if I don't pick it up until tomorrow, at least the grass will start, you know, I've started to regrow again. I'll be using the Fendt and our forage wagon to pick this up. Well, let's get this mowed, and then we can go down, grab our Fendt tractor and our leased baler, and we'll start making some straw bales. See how many bales we end up making. And we'll probably just keep them on the field until September, when I may make straw bales in that field, and then I can lease the baling trailer just once and sell all the bales then. And just about a minute later, we are done with the grass field and these mowers. I'm not even going to turn them off. How about that? Let's go in, mowers. Yep, return them. And return that as well. And the Landini, let me just park that to the side here just in case I forget that it's here. And I come back with a Fendt to pick up the grass itself. And let's see, I want to make sure I turn on... Oh, I'm doing automatic drop. This is a square baler. I don't need to be doing that. Bale size 220. The one thing I just got to make sure of, because I kind of forgot, the bale loader will be picking up, can do 240s. Can this do 240s? It sure can. All right, so we are all set. So I have taken it into consideration as well of selling the greenhouses right away to get an extra $30,000, so I could buy the flax field today. But I keep wanting to keep the greenhouses, and I'm not sure why. Because I mean, yes, they do make us money, but not a whole lot. I mean, we're talking $2,500 a month, somewhere around there. Which is not a whole lot, but it is something. I think I can get enough contracts done in this in-game month, fingers crossed, that we can afford that flax field this month. And that way I can get in there. I just want to get in there and get it taken care of. I want another field. If you remember at the beginning of last episode, my original plan was to buy a field, but then as I was going to bed in the previous month, this is when the Fendt Vario 1000 came up for sale, and I could not pass that up. And the other field I was looking at, of course, I almost had the money for it then, was a decent-sized cotton field. Of course, I wasn't interested in the cotton, but I am interested in the field just because the expected yield off that plot of land is actually pretty darn decent. But that is roughly about $270,000. And since the crop that's in there is not one that we really particularly need, let's stick with the cheaper one. And yes, I know you guys keep telling me about the pack, a baler pack that has the like a windrower on the front of it to help get these straw swath right in front of the baler. I don't know. I use that. I can't remember where I may have used it in 17, FS17, before I started making farming simulator videos on the channel. I mean, it works well. I just didn't like it. And I think I actually tested it before I started Hinterland, and I still had the same problem to where the baler was not picking up the entire swath anyway, so it didn't really benefit me too much. I mean, I can see I'm leaving little strips of straw here and there, which I'm not going to be too worried about on this field. But when I was testing it on Hinterland, the reason why I was testing on Hinterland, because there we were using Maize Plus, and sometimes the different grass textures that you get with Maize Plus, some balers would not recognize it. So I was testing out the wide windrower, and I was missing pieces on that as well. I was like, well, it's not really doing much better for me anyways. And most of the time when I do grass anyways, it's going to be like I did on our grass field where I put it into a swath anyways. I don't know. It doesn't always pick up 100% for me. But the little pieces we're leaving behind is not that bad. $9,000-liter bales. I could also activate the baler, which I used a little bit on Oceanside Forest, to where we can have huge bales. When I say huge bales, the bales are the same size, almost. but the amount of liters that are in a bale are ridiculous. I think was the Oceanside Forest when I went ×9, the bales were like what, 89,000 liters per bale. But since I want to use straw bales for the cows for bedding, the pigs for bedding, yeah, I don't want to go that extreme. I think just by using a standard baler will be just fine. And I think I might be purchasing in the future this Fendt baler, unless one comes up for sale. Just be nice to have a matching set. Haven't been counting the bales, but luckily since it's a leased baler, you can see, well, so far we made 11 bales. Now, I'm not going to go around and pick up every little clump that I missed, unless I'm trying to complete a bale itself, then I'll go around afterwards. First field is done, and we got 20 bales off that field. Now it's time for the oat field. It'd be nice if I put the pickup down. That'd be good. Let's start that over, please. So if that field gave me 20, this one should give me more because it's a bigger field. And oats, from what I remember in FS19 at least, oats gave you more straw than wheat and barley did. And I think if I had a full bale loader full of bales, I think which holds 24, when the price is pretty decent, we used to get about 10 grand per trailer load. So by baling up the straw, I'm going to get my money back at least on the baler. And I think the bale loader is going to cost me like a grand, maybe 1,800 to lease. Really what I should have done, but I think it would bother me, I should have waited until we did harvest the flax field in September. Then I could have leased the baler then and baled this field, the other field, and the flax field all together. But leaving the straw on the field for a few months would just, I know it'd bother me. So yeah, we're going to do it here. That's why it's kind of good to own your own equipment. If it's going to be something you're going to use often enough in different months, owning your own equipment kind of just relieves some of the stress of having to pay all the leasing fees, so on and so forth. Especially when you're trying to save up money. Unlike a series on Oceanside Forest, so I could lease, well, why would I lease anything there when you got almost $30 million? But I think you know where I'm coming from. Yeah, just go ahead and buy. You don't have to worry about anything. But it's kind of hard for me to realize that on American Falls, we've been here for 4 seasons. Time is flying by here on American Falls, that's for darn sure. And I've been kind of getting rather impatient waiting for hopefully an update so we can do the vegetables on American Falls. Of course, we are in the time of season to where Giants takes a few weeks off for the holidays. So they should be back working on mods and such somewhere the first week of January. Although I don't think Lancey Boy has sent in, at least that I know of, an update for the American Falls. I know he sent in the update for Stone Valley, I believe. And I know he's working on another map, I think a Wisconsin map he's working on. I mean, the update is going to help us out. I do believe on some fence lines on American Falls, but I'm just looking forward to being able to do some of the vegetables again. We've barely touched on them on Zelonka. I think it was on there for like 3 or 4 episodes. Just giving it a go. But I want to start producing some canned vegetables and some soup. Start using some of that equipment. Be it small equipment. Yeah, because if I were to put the vegetables in a field like this, we're going to get a whole bunch of veggies. And I'm not sure the production building can hold that much that we might get off of this field. But we'll make it work some way, shape, or form. That's why we got the silo that we do. That silo should be able to hold the veggies that we harvest. And we're up to 31 bales currently being produced. So that should be about $10,000 worth of straw bales that we have. So when I get done, we should have about $20,000 worth of straw bales. Oh yeah, the one thing I was going to check, I should be checking on, are the contracts. I forgot to look at them and see what's going on here. A fertilizing contract came up, $3,500. Yeah, harvesting contracts, seed production, agro grain, we buy anything, agro grain, we buy anything, falls grain, nothing going to the grain mill. A plowing contract. I could set the Landini off on that, so maybe I will, in between episodes, get some contracts done. And these are the cultivating ones, so let's see, that's about 15, that's 20, yeah, about $25,000 worth of cultivating contracts, but I would be, wait, which one is it? This one here. I would borrow the equipment on this one here, and that would, take out $2,000 for that. So maybe I'll get some cultivating contracts done in between episodes, get our money on up. So while I'm picking up the grass in the grass field, we could have the Franks doing some cultivating contracts and get our money up to $170,000 so we can buy the flax field and get right in there. And maybe next episode, fingers crossed, we can get in there and get that field all set, and we'll have some more land to us. Also, just remember, we do owe $300,000 to the bank, but we're not going to be repaying that for a while. At least I don't think. We'll see how this upcoming winter goes with the sales. If the sales go really good and there's nothing currently that we want to buy, which I find that hard to believe, maybe we'll slowly pay back some of that loan little by little. The loan interest rate is not that bad. It's only like $1,000 a month. I think it's $1,000. Loan interest. It's only $1,000 a month. So in a way, the greenhouses that we got, they bring in about $2,500 a month. The greenhouses pretty much help us, even out the loan interest, property maintenance, and all that kind of fees that we get overnight. It kind of balances itself out currently, so that's why I want to keep the greenhouses around, just to keep it kind of balanced. Although that $30,000, like I said, will get us really close to being able to buy that flax field, but then it won't be making money off of them. So I think I can get the money with contracts in between episodes, but we'll get these bales all made on up here, and let's see how many we end up with. Well, let's see what happens when I get to the end of this row, how much straw is left in the baler. Then I'll have to go around and see if I can pick up enough to finish off the bales. And we should be over 50 bales in total by the time I get done. Kind of need to also repair the 1000. We bought it used. I don't think I've repaired it yet. That's why the repair status is not looking the greatest. So I don't know how much horsepower a tractor loses as it wears down, but we are at like 50%, I think. Let's see, I need about another 7,000 liters of straw, and I don't think I'm going to get it anywhere. Well, if I go around and pick every little piece up, maybe. Let me come over here and I'll see what I get off of this narrow little strip here. Probably not enough. I think I'll just... We got what we got. I think it's what it's going to be. Yeah, I'm not picking up enough there, so I'm not going to bother with that. Let's go ahead and let's unload these right here. Alright, and we'll detach it. Drop it off. And, wait a second. Before I get rid of you. 55 bales. That's what we got. That's what we got for bales. Let's go ahead and make sure I return that. Alright, so we are all set there. Let me go into the contracts, and yes, let's go ahead and start borrow the items for that one. And then we will go ahead and accept that contract. And accept that contract. So there's 3 contracts I have taken. So I'll get started on those while I take this vent. I'm going to grab the forage wagon. Hitch up to that. Start picking up the grass off the grass field. And one of the Franks will be going ahead and get those cultivating jobs done. So we are just shy of 130,000. By the time we get those contracts done, should be up around 155. I'm pretty sure I'll do some of the other contracts once I can accept them, like the fertilizing one and the plowing one. They're not paying much, but yeah, next episode, we're buying that flax field. And we should still be in the month of July, I assume. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure we will be. And then we can take our Voltra, and we'll get in our new flax field, and we'll get that field all prepped for harvesting for September. But that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.